Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. I'm Nick, and I'm a top author on TradingView with over 190k reputation points. In this video, I will be taking a pair, breaking it down from a technical and order flow perspective, and in doing so, I will provide as much free education as possible. So I really suggest that you stick to the video till the end, and I will see you on the charts. In today's video, I want to speak about silver because at the moment we do have quite interesting price action and structure. Starting here on the monthly, in fact, what we can see is that at the moment the market is testing very strong previous monthly resistance, which has now turned support and demand here. Now, as we're testing previous resistance turn support, there is definitely the possibility for a potential rejection to the upside for the market to go and test this previous support and resistance that we had created when the market printed all these rejections to the upside away from these lows. We can also notice a very interesting pattern, which is this overextended M formation that the market creating in printing the move to the downside. And in general, after the creation of an overextended M pattern, you would like to see the market to create a rejection to the upside. So there are good probabilities of a potential reversal away from this zone. Now, if we go down on the weekly, what do we see? From a weekly perspective, things are getting even more interesting because what we can see is that we just approached the previous low, which is very strong support and demand. In fact, from this wicks, all this rejection to the upside was created. And as we're now testing once again these wicks, so this demand and support zone, we can also notice how the market in going and testing this area created an M pattern. And in general, after the creation of an M pattern, what you would like to see is a rejection to the upside for the completion of the pattern at the previous support turned resistance. So there is definitely a possibility for this short-term bullish move. Now, if we go and see what we have when it comes to the commitment of traders, so the COT data, which is what the non-commercials, so the biggest speculators in the market are doing, and we go and see what we have on silver from an institutional perspective, what we can see here is that with the last reports, net positions actually got decreased. We went from having a positive net positioning, meaning that we had more longs than shorts, 47k longs compared to only 44k shorts, all the way down to now having a negative net positioning with more shorts than longs, in fact 53k shorts compared to only 49k longs, with 9.3k shorts added with the last report. So silver at the moment is actually getting quite bearish. We see that also reflected in the price action with the market creating this move to the downside. However, it's important to notice that already from last Tuesday, we can see how from an institutional perspective, we were having thousands of longs added already, 1.3k longs. And there is definitely a possibility that during the rest of these days, we have seen more longs added from an institutional perspective, which we simply do not see yet since the new report is only coming out on Friday. But already we had 1,300 longs added when the market was up here. So now that we actually reached this support, there is definitely a possibility that all during this move to the downside, many longs, so thousands of longs were getting added from an institutional perspective, which we will see with the new report. So there is definitely the possibility for this rejection to the upside, considering that we were already seeing thousands of longs getting added. So if we go down on the daily, what do we see? Now on the daily time frame, we can see how the market just completed this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside, printing a new lower low. Now, we still don't have the daily close today, so we still don't know if the market will manage to break below the previous low, since yesterday anyway, the market created this wick, but then made the move back up, closing above the previous low, so failing in breaking it to the downside. But if the market here will manage to close above the previous low, there is definitely the possibility for this rejection to the upside. And even if today we get a break below that zone, and then in the next days a break back above, once again, the structure on the daily would be bullish, so it would be in the same direction of the one that we have on the monthly and weekly, indicating that there is definitely the possibility for the rejection to the upside. So if the market successfully manages to break back above the previous low, how we could be approaching this potential rejection to the upside. Now, as usual, the monthly, weekly, and daily combined with the COT data, those are the best timeframes from a directional perspective. However, when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best timeframes are the intraday timeframes, so 4-hour and lower. Therefore, what we could be doing potentially is monitoring price action from an intraday perspective during this move to the downside, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bearish market as we would have to an intraday bullish market. And if the market would shift from an intraday bearish to bullish market and provide to us one of our valid entries at that point, we could be looking for a potential rejection to the upside for the market to complete the weekly and pattern. Now, if you don't know what I'm speaking about when I say valid entries and these kind of things, that is all part of the mentorship program, which you find at transparentfxtrading.com. Here you have the possibility to gain access to my entire course with all the rules of the strategies. You also have the possibility to gain access to one-on-one private mentoring, the VIP market breakdowns with the Telegram signals, the COT data software, which is the one that we use precisely in this analysis, the trading station software, which puts together everything that you need as a trader all in one interface. And if you scroll lower past the testimonials, you will see that at the moment I'm running as a massive promotion in which not only you have a discount on the upfront price of the mentorship program, but since I have partnered with the forex broker Blueberry Markets, if you open an account with them from the student dashboard after you joined, you have the possibility to get a refund credited back in your trading account. And if you scroll lower, you will have the possibility here to join and gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the checkout. So definitely looking forward to have you on board. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I'll see you in my next video.